Every morning at 5 a.m., Arya's alarm rang. But it wasn't always this way. Just 6 months earlier, she was a different person, constantly snoozing the alarm, skipping breakfast, rushing to work, and ending each day feeling drained and defeated. She wanted to change. She tried many times, but every attempt ended in frustration. "I'm just not disciplined," she'd tell herself. Until one evening, her life took a turn. She was visiting her grandfather, a retired scientist known not just for his brilliance, but for his calm, disciplined life. Over tea, she confessed her struggles. "I want to build good habits, wake up early, eat healthier, read daily, but I keep slipping back. It's like my brain doesn't want to change." Her grandfather smiled, sipping his tea slowly. "Because you're trying to fight your brain," he said. "But real change doesn't come from force. It comes from understanding." He stood up and returned with a notebook worn from years of scribbled thoughts and diagrams. "This," he said, "is the science of habit formation." He drew 3 simple words: cue to routine to reward. Every habit, he explained, follows this loop. The cue is the trigger. The routine is the behavior itself. The reward is what your brain enjoys and what makes it want to repeat the action. For example, he said, if your phone buzzes, cue, you check a message, routine, and feel connected or excited, reward. Over time, your brain starts craving that reward the moment it hears the buzz. Arya nodded. It made sense. "So how do I build good habits?" she asked. "Simple," he said. "Use the loop in your favor." "Your brain resists big changes," he said. "It sees them as threats. That's why starting small is powerful." He told her to start by waking up just 5 minutes earlier, not an hour. Your brain needs wins. Small victories create momentum. So Arya set her alarm for 6:55 instead of 7 o'clock. It was such a small change that it felt silly, but it worked. She kept it up for a week. Each week, she added 5 more minutes. By week 6, she was waking up at 5:30 a.m. without a fight. Next, her grandfather introduced her to the concept of habit stacking. Your brain loves patterns, he explained, so attach your new habit to an existing one. Arya always had coffee after waking up. So, he said, stack a habit. Right after coffee, read 1 page of a book. She did. 1 page felt easy. Sometimes she read more, but even on tired mornings, she read that single page. Before she realized it, she'd finished her first book in years. Your environment shapes your behavior more than motivation, her grandfather said one day, pointing to his tidy desk. He explained that if something is easy to access, we're more likely to do it. If it's out of sight, we'll likely ignore it. So Arya made simple changes. Kept her workout clothes next to her bed. Put her journal on her pillow so she'd write before sleeping. Deleted distracting apps from her phone's home screen. These small shifts removed friction, and her habits became more natural. Some days, Arya slipped up. She missed a morning walk, forgot to read, ate poorly. I failed, she told her grandfather. No, he said gently, you just gathered data. He taught her to track her habits using a simple checkmark system. No guilt, just awareness. The goal is progress, not perfection. She began to see patterns. She was more likely to skip habits on late nights. So, she adjusted her sleep schedule instead of blaming herself. Tracking turned judgment into insight. Never underestimate the power of celebration, he smiled. Every time Arya completed her habit, even a tiny one, she'd smile, stretch her arms, or say, yes, out loud. It sounded odd, but it worked. These micro-celebrations wired her brain to associate the habit with joy, not effort. Soon, her habits weren't chores. They were achievements. Months passed. One evening, Arya sat with her grandfather again. He looked at her proudly. Do you see the biggest change? Arya thought about it. She woke up early, meditated, ate mindfully, read. She wasn't trying to build habits anymore. She was those habits. I think I became the person I wanted to be, she said softly. Her grandfather smiled. That's the secret. Habits don't just change your actions, they change your identity. He wrote 2 phrases in his notebook. I want to read every day. I am a reader. One is effort, he said. The other is identity. When you act like the person you want to become, even in small ways, your brain begins to believe it. That belief makes the habit stick. 6 months after her journey began, Arya sat in a cafe, journaling about her transformation. She wasn't perfect, but she was consistent, and she'd built a life filled with intentional habits. What changed everything wasn't discipline or motivation, it was understanding how habits work. Cue, routine, reward. Start small, stack them, make them visible, track and celebrate. And most importantly, build the identity of who you want to become. Habits, she realized, are the invisible architecture of a meaningful life. They don't just change what you do, they change who you are, and it all begins with one small step.